How's it going, everybody? Doing a drink review here today and super gum chewing Super Bowl recap. The season is over, so we'll get to that in a few minutes. But this was requested, this drink, and I was able to find it. Like I said, I try to look for these drinks that you guys asked me to find, and I found this one at a 7-Eleven actually on my way back from the cardiologist. Speaking of that, I have to do an echocardiogram on the 29th, and then in March I have to do a stress test, and in the 20th next week I have my gastro appointment, and I'm sure I'll need an endoscopy. So, moving towards hopefully finding out what is going on, but of course it takes time and shit. So, let me fix that a little bit. There we go. Anyway, the drink I found was a Pure Leaf sweet tea. Asked about, so give it a go. This needs to be. I'm not gonna drink this whole thing. I think I'm gonna save some of this for dinner. Yeah, let's see what we got. Oh, I want to see if it said shake well. I don't see it. Not bad. It's a solid sweet tea. I'm not overly into sweet tea. I actually have had, and I had it the other day, but I realized, I guess, that they would have wanted the straight blue label, but it was like 85% less sugar than this one, so that was like 20 calories. I should say calories. And that one was okay, too. This one's better, obviously, because it's just sweeter, I guess. Like I said, I'm not a massive fan of sweet teas, but this one is pretty good. And these kind of, any kind of iced teas, any kind of tea is typically pretty refreshing. It's like you'd have on a hot summer day. It's not bad, though. Pretty solid. What's the caffeine count on this? 69 milligrams. This is a weird size too. 18.5 fluid ounces. Usually get the 16.9, where like the 20 ounce or 12 ounce 18.5 is an interesting one. That's pretty good though. Like I said, I usually just like brisk iced tea. I really like, but this is pretty good sweet tea. Like I said, they're refreshing, and it's fairly a light drink, although the other one was a lot lighter. Not bad, though. Maybe I should score this now, then just get the Super Bowl. Let me take another swig. Yeah, it's not bad. Pretty good. Actually, they have a raspberry one I need to pick up because I like raspberry teas. That's probably like my favorite kind of iced tea to have. But yeah, this is pretty good. I'm going to go 7.5 on this one because it's pretty good, and I'm not overly into the sweet teas. This one is solid. Trying to save some of that. I'll probably take another swig or two. But on to the Super Bowl. I'm not even going to look at the stats. I did not watch the game. I don't think I've watched a full Super Bowl since it might have been the Rams and the Patriots. I did watch a good amount of the first Niners and Chiefs football, Super Bowl. Because that would have been the first Super Bowl when we moved in here. But yeah, the Chiefs did win back-to-back championships for them. It went to overtime. Like I said, I didn't watch it, but I was periodically looking at the score on ESPN. I just every like maybe half hour or something, see what's going on. I'm going to talk about a few things about this Super Bowl. Like I said, I'm not going to look. It's 25-22 overtime for the Chiefs. Mahomes won MVP. He had 2 touchdowns and a pick. I don't know how many yards he had. I don't even know how they did running the ball. I don't think they ran the ball overly well. Their D did well. They had a blocked extra point, which actually was literally the game in reality. And the turning point for me, and I actually saw this because I believe it was only 10-3 at the half, and this is one of the things that annoyed me, because it's actually an insult to the Chiefs. The 49ers were up 10-0, and people were like, the Niners blow another 10-point lead. Like, it was 10-0 in like the first quarter. They were up 10-3 at the half. To me, that's an insult to the Chiefs, because are you saying the Chiefs can't come back from 10-0 or even 10-3 at the half? The first time the Niners blew the 2010 lead in the fourth quarter, right, of the first time they played. That's worse. A 10-0 lead early is no. There's plenty of teams that have blown 10-point leads in the Super Bowl. Denver was up 10-0 in the Super Bowl against the Redskins and lost 42-10. They were actually down 35-10 at the half. They gave up 35 points in the second quarter, I believe. So that was annoying me, because it was like, really. But I was looking and checking the score, and I believe it was 10-6, and the 49ers were they held them. The Chiefs were going to punt, and I actually said out loud, I was by myself in the room, I'm like, the momentum's going to swift. It's going to switch here soon. It's going to change. There's going to be a turnover or something, and the dude muffs the punt. That, in my opinion, was the game right there. That destroyed the momentum. The Chiefs actually took a 13-10 lead. And then I believe 49ers went up 16-13, and that was when the extra point was blocked, which essentially cost them the game, but whatever. Not really, but... Chiefs tie it. Niners take the lead. Chiefs tie it late. I will say, if people are going to say this was scripted, they would have won with like 2 seconds left and not kicked that field goal to push it to overtime. Like Kelsey would have caught the game-winning TD. Did he catch the game-winning TD? I don't even know. I don't think he did, right? Maybe he did. I don't know. I said I didn't watch it. I'm not going to look at the stats. I'm curious. I don't want to look. It was a good game, but the defensive battle, like both teams defensively did well, like, and especially in the first half, like from the points I looked, I was like, this is there. I was like, wow, only 10-3 at the half. I would have expected more. And honestly, I think the Chiefs could three-peat for a couple of reasons. A, they have Mahomes. He's the best quarterback in the league, and I'm going to get into that in a few minutes. Everybody kind of knows it anyway, right? But I'm going to get into why, like not why, but the true reasons. But they're still solid. Kelsey, I believe, is coming back. You still have Mahomes. I assume Andy Reid's going to be there still. The league, even though they didn't have the best record, they're still the best team. Like, there's nobody in the NFL that you almost feel, especially in the AFC, that I think can beat them. That doesn't mean it can't happen. It obviously has happened before, but in terms of the last, we won't count the first AFC Championship he went to when he lost to Brady when he was still in the Patriots. When they started to win the Super Bowls, and they, even the one they lost, the Bengals were the only team to beat them. So, in the span since they won that first Super Bowl, obviously they lost the Patriot game. There's no team outside, I think, of the Bengals that could beat them, like with Burrow healthy and everything. The Bills, if they do at some point, fine, but the Bills are too damaged goods at this point. They can't take out Kansas City. And even in the NFC, and it's not like the Chiefs are overwhelmingly good. Like, it's not like you're like, oh my god, especially this team. Like, this team had a battle. This is their most impressive Super Bowl, in my opinion. They had a battle for it. They had to go on the road twice. But it's not, they're not like, like, oh, the Chiefs are so dominant. Like, no, and this was a tight game. But the 49ers, this is why. The overtime shows you why. Now, Brock Purdy's only in his second year, so you're not going to shit on him. But here's what happens. Niners get the ball first. They only get a field goal. Brock Purdy's good enough to lead you to a field goal. Mahomes is going to get the ball back. He's going to lead you to the touchdown that wins it. Mahomes is, in my opinion, when it comes to the playoffs, him and Brady are tops. Like, recent memory, I'm not going to go back to, like, Steelers teams when Bradshaw's winning 4, Montana winning 3. No, wait. Montana won 4, sorry. Young was the quarterback, the 5th one. Yeah, that's another thing. That's 3 straight Super Bowl losses for the, not 3 in a row, but the last 3 Super Bowls, they can't get to number 6, the 49ers. I saw a lot of Steelers fans were pumped. I guess maybe New England fans would be too. But, like, that's it. It goes to overtime, and they hold them to they only get the field goal to 49. They were driving pretty well on that drive in overtime, and it stalls. They might have even stalled inside the 10. And I knew it too. I paid attention for the overtime drive, and then I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'll look at the score after, and then I saw they won because I was like, they're gonna win. The Chiefs, they needed to score the TD. The 49ers had to score the TD to then force them to get the TD, and then it continues. And somehow the 49ers players I was reading didn't understand the rules of overtime. How the fuck do you not understand the rules? I know the Super Bowl rules in overtime are different. If the 49ers scored a touchdown, the Chiefs still have a chance to score a TD. It's not like the stupid way they do it, where if a TD scores, it's a win. If you score a TD on your first drive in overtime in the regular season, you win. It's stupid. They want to be a little different than the college for whatever fucking reason. It's like you should know that, and someone should be telling you that, but you think the coach would. And Kyle Shanahan, I guess he's not as good as his dad, Mike Shanahan, as head coach. But it was like, and the people saying, oh, scripted again, the Chiefs, get the fuck out of here. Like, the 49ers, it technically should have won the game. It's not like the Chiefs, Mahomes threw his pick, they fumbled once, and McCaffrey fumbled as well. The Chiefs take advantage of the fuck-ups. They're a team with the experience, the Super Bowl winning experience. They have the experience, and they have Mahomes. As long as they have Mahomes, they'll still compete, even if he loses all of his weapons, because he makes people better. Like I said, Purdy's good enough to get you the field goal in overtime, get you down for field goal. Mahomes is going to get you the touchdown. Him and Brady in the playoffs, leaps and bounds. Like, I'm not going to talk regular season because you can add other quarterbacks into the mix. The playoffs, it's Brady and Mahomes. I'm talking recent memory. I'm not going back to, the 80s and the 90s and stuff like that. I'm saying the last, we'll say 20 years, 20 plus years. Because, Eli Manning has his 2 runs where they win Super Bowls. Other than those 2 runs, he lost every playoff game, the first playoff game he played in each season outside of the 2 Super Bowls, which, whatever. And he did out-clutch Brady, but still. Consistency. He didn't have it. I think he went to the playoffs how many times? Like, I don't even know. Was it 6 or something? But the other, outside of the 2 Super Bowls where they actually won the playoff games in the Super Bowl, they lost their first playoff game those other years. Peyton Manning. Same thing. The guy had so many fucking failures in the divisional round. Still went to 4. So he's still there, and he went to another championship game. But even I saw it all in Denver when he's Denver's quarterback for 4 years. But the thing is, he did more. He went the same amount of Super Bowls in 4 years with Denver than he did in his whatever it was, like 12 or 13 or whatever the fuck with Indy. But you saw it all. The divisional letdown, the Super Bowl appearance and a loss, the divisional letdown, and then they win the Super Bowl. Mahomes has not had the letdown. He hasn't had the divisional round letdown. Brady occasionally had a few, like when the Jets beat him the one time. Denver took him out, but that was in Denver. He didn't have a bunch of like really playoff embarrassments. Kind of. I will say that when the Ravens beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl, same year they beat Denver in the divisional round, that thriller. They literally beat up the Patriots in that also wasn't the divisional round. It's Brady and Rodgers is so far in the pit compared to the two of them in the playoffs. Like, how the fuck doesn't that guy have like 3 Super Bowls? He's not clutch enough. You can blame the other players too, but Mahomes keeps getting it done. When Mahomes is given the chance, he is going to get it done. When Brady's given the chance, 9 out of 10 times, he gets it fucking done. Like, it's crazy. That's how it is. Like, I was not like, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I think they could 3-peat because the league's not that strong. Let's be honest. The league is weakening, including the Chiefs, and they still win. So they're still head and shoulders above everybody else. There's no other, like, Lamar Jackson, the Ravens have their shot, and they score 10 points. Now, of course, you can be like, well, Chiefs D came to fucking play. They shut down the Ravens. And they shut down the Niners. But the Niners can't, they're like it's like these other teams are missing that, whatever the fuck it is. They're just missing the Mahomes. I don't know. And that's why he's the best in the game now. I'm not saying he's the best of all time. At this point, he's going to realistically, you're not going to say, oh, they're going to just keep winning, but that's 3 Super, he's gone to 4. And he's been the starter for what, 5 years? No, 6 years. If he's dominant, we'll just say, or he's really good, even if he starts to drift a little bit, for even another 8, realistically, he's going to win at least another 2. He's probably going to go to at least another 3, unless another team finally fucking emerges in the AFC. I'm talking not as much the NFC, because it's more, in a lot of ways, it's like the Super Bowl is just the one game against the NFC. You have to go through all these AFC or NFC teams, depending on what league you're in, obviously. Until an AFC team, and it could be the Bengals. Now, obviously, Burrow got hurt this year. If he doesn't get hurt, they probably get in the playoffs. And I feel like they're the only team, and they had 2 battles, and they each won 1. The Bills cannot beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Don't even think about them. If anything, if you're a Bills fan, you shouldn't even consider the Bills anything, and then you'll be surprised when they get it done. For me, it's like, maybe the Dolphins somehow get it together, but I just feel like they're not going to. They're going to get, like, close and then, not reach full potential. The Ravens have their chances, and it's funny because Jackson's been in the league for what? Like, I don't even know. Has he been in this league the same amount of time as Mahomes? They could be a team, but they get the AFC Championship at home, and they put up 10 points. Like, who else could... and here's the thing too. It starts with the fucking divisional opponents that they have: the Raiders, the Chargers, and the freaking Broncos. Like, how about some of these teams attempt to improve, to maybe battle it out? They did a little better this year, but the Chiefs still comfortably win the division by like 2 or 3 games. Like, it doesn't matter. It's not as bad yet as it was with the Patriots against their opponents, where it was like ridiculous. But it's crazy how it starts with the division, like, because if Denver and the Chargers and the Raiders get better, you're possibly handing the Chiefs 3 losses, and they might have actually handed them 3 losses this year. The problem is the other 3 teams can't take care of business elsewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if they 3-peated. Honestly, I mean, they're going to be there again. Unless somebody steps up, and teams don't step up. Or they attempt to, and they can't. They're missing Mahomes. They're just missing that player. It was the same thing with Brady, and Brady ate his losses over his career in the playoffs, but what did he go to? 10 Super Bowls? Like, in what, like 19 years or 20 years? Mahomes is on a better pace, but of course, odds and stuff, it's going to come back down to earth, but you never know. I would almost just sit here and say, fuck it, they're going to 3-peat. At this point, you feel like the Niners can't take them. That's 2 Super Bowl losses. And that's the thing, like Purdy, listen, the guy went to the Super Bowl in his second year. You can't shit on the dude. But he now needs to take the next level where maybe if this Brock Purdy was in the league 5 years and he had a little more experience in the playoffs, maybe he gets it done. I don't know. And it's not like, no one was like, oh, the Chiefs are going to destroy the 49ers. You knew it wasn't going to happen. You knew the 49ers weren't going to destroy the Chiefs. Here's the thing. And even with a lot of people like, oh, the Ravens are going to beat up on the Chiefs. It wasn't going to happen even if the Chiefs lost that game. Because the Chiefs have the experience and they have Mahomes. It's that simple. It's hard for them to get blown up. A lot of people are questioning Kyle Shanahan's play calls. Like I said, I didn't watch it, but it's going to start to become a thing because he was the head coach twice, and then he was the offensive coordinator right when the Falcons had that monumental, legendary choke job. Now that's a blown fucking lead. Okay, 28-3 is a blown lead. What the Oilers blew. The Oilers are up, I think, 35-3 against the Bills and lost. That's a blown fucking lead. Being up 10 being up 10 in the fourth is a blown lead. Being up 10 points in like the second quarter is not a blown lead against a team that's won 2 Super Bowls at that point and been to 3. Get the hell out of here. That's an insult to the Chiefs. Like, really? Oh no, we're down 10. Now, you can say it this way. Another difference between the 49ers and the Chiefs. 49ers couldn't extend the lead. They couldn't get it to 17-6. They couldn't get it to 17-3. This is the same problem that Denver had when they played the Ravens. And the Ravens upset them. Denver kept taking the lead. They had the lead the whole game, pretty much. They couldn't extend the lead past like a touchdown. That's the problem. The Chiefs, that's what they will do. The Chiefs will hold in the game. They'll hold in the game, and then they could over-fucking-take. The Niners still can have a chance, though. They still have a bunch of good players, so realistically, they should be there, too. But I don't know why I'm ranting about this. I don't know if I'm going to do the recaps all of next year. I might do them like every 3 weeks or something. I don't know if I'm going to want to. As I said, I had no interest in watching the game. I'm going to check the highlights, and I'll obviously do the recap because I'm not going to skip out on the recap of the Super Bowl. But, we'll see if I'm up to it. Maybe I'll just do it randomly. I don't know, random weeks. But I am going to have a baseball ramble coming soon. I had a request for that. I'm going to wait a little bit until maybe closer to March, when the team's spring training starts up and shit. But yeah, just a Pure Leaf Sweet Tea review here. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 5. Solid sweet tea. And a Super Bowl recap. End of the season. Congrats to the Chiefs. On their 3rd Super Bowl in 4 years, and hey, let's see if they can three-peat. Nobody has, so this is the best time to do it too. Like I said, the league, in my opinion, is weak right now. It's time for the Chiefs to just say fuck it. We're taking another one, and I feel like the league is actually kind of just weakened. Like this year, I feel like the league was kind of weak. Not even